Hey everyone, it's me, the Retroden, and today I want to talk to you about why I cut back and emphasis on cutting back because I did not abandon achievement hunting. So, this is something I've been thinking a lot about because I've been working on my backlog and playing some different games. In between of beating games and making videos, I've also been clearing some achievements from games like Risk of Rain, which I mentioned in my previous video, and I have still to make a video about it. And I've been thinking, where has this achievement hunting or trophy hunting gone? Why haven't I been doing it as much, with as much of an emphasis as I did in the past? And then I think back on my journey. So, when it comes to gaming, in my library, there are two things I'm really passionate about. One of them is achievement hunting or trophy hunting whenever I'm on the PlayStation, and the other one of them is backlog clearing. But I do backlog clearing mainly because I want to be able to talk about games. I like having the knowledge. I like being able to discuss games. I don't like feeling left out when it comes to knowing things about certain games because this is a passion for me. This is an industry I'm very passionate about and that I really like discussing and looking forward to new stuff and getting emotional about games that are supposed to make you feel emotional. But to everyone who does these two things, you know they are quite contradictory. If you want to clear backlog and be able to talk about more games, there's no way you can be a completionist because being a completionist takes a lot of time in one game, and backlog clearing takes discipline in the terms of focusing on what's important and moving forward, abandoning stuff. And for a lot of years, I wanted to do both, and it never worked out. And I had to have priorities, and I've noticed that for 2 to 3 times in the past years, I have abandoned the hobby of achievement hunting in favor of backlog clearing. And I consume a lot of content in regards to both the hobbies, so backlog clearing and achievement hunting. And what I notice is that they're very different when it comes to the people who consume the content and people who are actually creating the content. What I notice when it comes to backlog clearing is that there's much more of a passion when it comes to gaming in general, like gaming as a hobby. There's much more of a passion towards the entertainment industry and what's being crafted as a final product rather than the act of playing the games themselves. On the other hand, when it comes to achievement hunting, people are much more hyper obsessed about the little things. And I am to blame about some of these hyper obsession because I too hyper obsessed about a lot of things during my achievement hunting career. I say career even though I'm not that big of an achievement hunter. I've hit like double digits on national rankings, even cracking top 50 while I was clearing shovelware back in the beginning of my Steam journey. I've since removed those games from my library and completion to the Steam console. But I've noticed that it's really counterintuitive and hypocritical to some point because when you're achievement hunting and when I consume achievement hunting content, I rarely notice people who do it having a lot of passion for the game. And me being someone who is clearly passionate about games, and you can ask anyone who personally knows me, I am someone who, as basically and as cringe as this sounds, I've dedicated my entire life to this. I've been playing games since I was 4 years old, and I know everything about every game I have ever played, like really in depth. And one of my friends also really likes to joke around that guessing game through pictures. I am one of the people who could easily guess a game by just looking at a picture of a square on the ground. I can recognize the game from the texture, and that's something that nobody would be proud of. They would tell me to touch grass if I told them this, but that's something I'm proud about because if gaming is something I love and I love getting knowledge from things, I'm also really proud of being intelligent and having knowledge when it comes to gaming. And then I started measuring the two hobbies to see which one of them was really more valuable to me or would be more valuable to me throughout the course of my life. And I've realized that, as everyone does eventually in the hobby, this is something I like doing, but there's also a certain level of FOMO to it. Because once you start getting into achievement hunting communities, it can be a double-edged sword. You can either have a lot of fun just playing games casually and completing them casually, or you can start getting that peer pressure to complete games to 100% and you have to beat this game don't start another game. Play this one until completion so you don't ruin your completion percentage. And as much as I like to say I am like over that, I too am a victim of FOMO. I too care about my completion percentage on PlayStation. I too cared about what games I started and what games I had to finish. And I too wanted to be that guy who completed 100% of the backlog. But this past August and uploading for 30 days in a row and talking about games and discussing games with people and watching a lot more content when it comes to just discussing games in general and very passionate content about people who have been playing a lot of games and don't actually complete them. People who just beat games for the sake of enjoying a story or a new experience, has really made me think that maybe there's a positivity when it comes to this FOMO, but not in the way I was getting my fear of missing out. So what I'm trying to say is that I've been starting to cut back on achievement hunting because I don't want my FOMO to be over some niche stats that when I die nobody cares about. I want my FOMO to be about the experiences that I can still have with the games I already have purchased, and I want also my FOMO to be about the amazing videos I could make but haven't made yet. And that's something that has been touching me really deep as I indulge in a lot of games, not specifically to achievement hunt but to beat the story. And just like any addiction, because achievement hunting is an addiction, it's hard to manage it. Like you will get that itch to always complete the game and take a look at the achievements. But I know that's something I'm never going to abandon. I'm going to still complete games from time to time because I enjoy having a platinum, I enjoy completing a game. But I know that I have to cut back on it if I ever want to make more videos on YouTube. And I think I would only be comfortable in achievement hunting if I ever cleared my backlog. And that's something I want to go more in depth in its specific video. But if I had to summarize it, it's basically once I'm done having all these experiences and focusing on actually making my money being worth what I spent and playing the games I have still not played that I have wanted to play at some point, I feel that then I can be really passionate about achievement hunting again because I'm done with the main part of what gaming is supposed to be. And that's basically why I have been cutting back on achievement hunting. These are some hard thoughts to express, seeing as most of the successful content on this channel is in regards to achievement hunting, and it's something I'm very passionate about and have been very vocal about when it comes to gaming. But I hope all of you who achievement hunt can also understand this. And if you don't understand it now, you will understand it eventually. Because as someone who's been doing this for a lot of years, I think this is the natural course of things. And you will eventually understand that. But I love to hear your thoughts, even if you disagree with me. So leave them down in the comments. I love discussing these things with you guys. Other than that, this has been the Retro Den, and I'm out.